Welcome to the Royale Express podcast, a place of music, travel, and the expansion of knowledge. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you for meeting with me.
It's a pleasure.
It's an honor on my side to finally, even meeting virtually is awesome and great. Well then, welcome. This is the Royale Express podcast. My name is Simo Mthethwa, and this is where we discuss various topics and conversations to expand our knowledge so that we can get to know how things work and learn from the conversation more than anything. For anyone who's interested in the topic, we also cover music and tourism. But for today, we're going to be talking about your speciality, which is in mathematics. As a mathematician, I've been fascinated with your work since hearing about you. I think it was beginning of last year, around February last year, when I was exposed to your work and what you do for your community and the children who need to learn mathematics. So without me taking over, I know that your work, for me, it is not my speciality in mathematics, but it's something that I've always been interested in, especially as a creative, to merge the two, and how things happen that way. But please tell us about yourself, how you started, how long have you been running the Mthethwamatics that you run, which is your academy.
Yeah, greetings once again. My name is Simo Mthethwa. I'm a mathematician, as you already indicated. A mathematician, what is a mathematician? A mathematician is someone who does mathematics for a living. I work at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm an academic. I'm an academic here, which means I lecture mathematics from the first year all the way to the honors. And it means also that I provide supervision to postgraduate students, so to students who want to be mathematicians as well. I provide supervision to those. And yeah, that's about it as far as the job is concerned. You asked about mathematics. Mthethwamatics is basically a movement that I started back when 2013, that's when it started, but then we label it Mthethwamatics in 2016. So it really started off as a community kind of a project where we would go and provide tutorship to the high school learners, and myself, I would provide teacher workshops and help the teachers to deliver content in a way that I would suggest to them. And then as we went on and on, we started introducing different programs within Mthethwamatics. So now it's the whole movement that has got all these different types of programs within it. I can name things like visual mathematics competition, which started as a result of COVID. So it started last year. And then we had programs prior to that, things like careers in mathematics program. So that is where we help the society at large, not just the learners and the teachers, but just everybody in our community to kind of be aware of what mathematics has to offer as far as careers are concerned. By the way, the visual mathematics competition is just a way of getting the community again, getting the society involved with the concepts that are important in mathematics, at least at the very basic level. So we would provide or will divide the society into different categories. So there would be a public category where everyone, even someone like you, can actually participate. We will select our winners and give them some nice prizes. The reason why I wanted to join with my computer and not with the phone, I was avoiding this kind of a situation where someone will just call me during the. But then I noticed that I was late, so
No,
so I just joined.
It's okay. Does
Yeah.
it happen often? Do you need to put your phone? Do you have a do not disturb button at the top? If you scroll
I can
down.
just put it on silent. Let me just hope that if I put it on silent, it won't give me that vibrate sound.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think yeah, where was I? I was talking about Mthethwamatics and its programs.
The concept.
Yeah, and I mentioned the two programs, the visual mathematics competition. I mentioned the careers in mathematics. There is a program that we call the Teach the Nation program. That is where we actually provide teaching to the learners in our schools. We did one program this year in July during the holidays in collaboration with the University of KwaZulu-Natal. We had about 390 something learners, and then we had teachers from all over South Africa that were helping us deliver these lessons. So we had teachers, and we also had academics who contributed lessons. We also had students, university students that contributed some lessons. I hope that in our next Teach the Nation program, we can have the learners also participating, not just in terms of attending, but the learners that sort of get the concept easily. I want them to be on board and come and teach the other learners. So to incorporate what we call the peer learning. You know, some people will understand stuff if they are hearing it from their peers. So I hope to be able to do that. There are some few learners from Northwest, two from Northwest, a couple from KZN that avail themselves to contribute some lessons. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, in the Teach the Nation program, we just provide the lessons, mathematics lessons in a way that we believe mathematics should be taught or can be easily absorbed. So that's what we do in that program. And then there are other programs as well that we do for fun. But we can always talk about them later.
Okay. Don't leave us out of the fun. I don't want to miss out on that. I'm curious, Ugwazi, more details on the careers. I actually want to go back a bit, and then we'll also dissect, because also almost Australia about the careers. I know you'll then break down also various concepts as well in how you teach mathematics. So am careers that one has if they are a mathematician and they live mathematics? What professions do do they go into?
Right, there is a lot. There's many of them. So, and the reason why we have this program to begin with is that we believe that it's kind of a hidden thing. It's not out there in the society, because when you do mathematics, usually you would get the question, where are you gonna work? What are you doing? What is it that is done there in mathematics? Where is it gonna take you to? So that's the idea behind the introduction of the Careers in Mathematics program. But yeah, to mention a few, there's a new kid on the block called data science. So when someone studies mathematics, they at a university level, of course, there's this career path that they can actually take that we call data science. And there are things like quantitative analysts, what is known as quants. That's what people work as. And then things like data analysts, I think that one is a common one. And then there are others that are sort of hidden, in the sense that one would need to study a bit further than a degree. So you usually want to do a bit more, for example, honors and masters before you get into those. So these are the things that we talk about in our Careers in Mathematics program. And one of the careers that requires one to study a bit further would be the thing that I am, an academic. As I said, an academic, the duties of an academic would be to do research in that field, and in my field is mathematics. So I do research in mathematics. I contribute via research, and then I contribute via teaching at university. Those are the key things that an academic would be required to do. And then there are other things, other components, other people would be in positions at universities and things like that, your vice chancellors, your chancellors, and all these are the sort of positions that are at the university. But the key things is just research and being able to teach whatever course, whatever mathematics course that is given to you. So we also offer the knowledge as far as that is concerned. So a typical, before you ask me, I know you're going to ask me, a typical event when we do the Careers in Mathematics, we would have various people from all these mathematical careers. So we would have, say, 1 or 2 data scientists, 1 or 2 quantitative analysts. We would have 2 people from the academic side, and maybe 1 or 2 actuaries. And then they just come and prepare some, not so formal kind of a presentation, but a presentation on what exactly do they do on a day-to-day basis. And we will collect that and give it to the learners or whoever that is there during that event. So that's how it goes.
What are the key personalities and characteristics that one should uphold and have if they were to become a mathematician?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's this stigma that for one to be a mathematician, they have to be a nerd. I'm gonna say that in quotation.
Child.
So you will have to kind of be antisocial and things like that. That's a stigma that is out there about mathematicians, and I believe that I'm kind of person like me would be kind of a counter example towards that stigma, because to my belief, this is what I believe. I don't believe that I fall into any of those categories, whether you call it a nerd, whether you call it an antisocial person and things like that. I don't believe that I fall into any of those. So you get people that are actually cool mathematicians, just like myself.
Yes. We're happy to hear that.
I just wanted to let that out, that you need not be a person wearing glasses. As you can see, wearing glasses.
I wear glasses. I'm not a mathematician. And I'm an artist. I'm a creative and I wear glasses. I'm a nerdy artist.
You don't need to be wearing glasses and be a nerd and sit in the library and things like that. You just need to to be just curious enough about the subject to grab a book and learn. And so the basic thing is curiosity. I think that's a common thing across all kind of mathematicians. There is no mathematician out there that is not curious about the subject. So that's just one thing that one requires. You curiosity, just wanting to learn more. That's one requirement. Everything else is just not necessary for real. It's just one requirement: being able to want to learn and accept whatever that a so-called expert will direct you to, because what usually happens is curious people who, they are eager to learn. They read a lot, and then when someone comes in and suggests something, because they have accumulated some knowledge, they would want to kind of want to argue with whomever that is there to provide some information. So for me, it's just two things: be curious, and then be curious enough to follow what an expert will guide you to.
So what I'm getting is that the subject in itself is not difficult. It's not hard.
No.
You just have to have the curiosity to solve the problem, go through the challenges, as every career has challenges, but you will find the ways, and that is what you treat. Yeah.
True. There's not a single career that does not have challenges, and so is this one. You just need to be curious enough to just. There's no magic for real. There's no magic. You don't need to be, as I said, you don't need to be smarty pants or that kid that is wearing glasses sitting there in the corner alone. You just need the curiosity. You just need to be curious enough to want to learn. And once you want to learn, you go to a person that is an expert and follow their guidance. Trust me, you'll be fine if you do that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I remember some of my experiences at school. It was simple, like as long as you do the homework and you practice the formulas, you'll get the answers. If you're lazy, then of course you're not going to succeed in anything. It's the same in any industry.
Everyone.
Yeah, for me, my personal question that I want to go into now, specifically as a creative, and when I talk to friends about mathematics and what marks did you get at school and stuff, I always say that I wished there could have been more of a merger happening between the various subjects, right? To not put them as an alien on the side. What are your thoughts in the current movement and debates and conversations about STEM subjects, your science, technology, what is the E? Science, technology, yes, engineering and mathematics. I confuse engineering with economics. engineering and
No,
mathematics,
I see.
and now
Mm.
they're bringing in the arts, so that from STEM it becomes STEAM. So they're adding the A
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for the arts. What are your thoughts on that? Have you have you thought about these things before previously in your own career, or is it something that's a new concept to you? Are you challenged by it? Are you intrigued by it? How do you feel about the
It's a natural thing to do, at least from my perspective, because speaking, for example, in your case, as you said, you are in the creative space. If you go to other parts of the world, you would usually find mathematics under art. So it is going to be a Bachelor of Art as opposed to a Bachelor of Science. That's just because the nature of mathematics, it's art. It's really art, because of the creativity, especially when you go up with it. That's when you realize that, oh, you would need to be innovative with subject. You need to be able to create things from your mind. Mathematics is all in your mind. So, uh, as I said, with it, that's when you realize that, oh, this thing is actually art. It's just that I need to paint my own picture vivid enough to be able for other mathematicians to recognize that I actually do this. So I guess this is why in other parts of the world it's under art. You need to be Bachelor of Art in maths and something else. So for me, the introduction of that A is not really a thing that should not be expected. It's a natural thing because mathematics, from the fundamentals of it, the way it was discovered, it's really art. As far as the other things that your engineering, you will need mathematics to be able to do engineering. I mean, the whole engineering thing is entirely based in mathematics, and so is the other sciences, your physics, your whatever science that you do. You would need a bit of mathematics, your calculations and things like that. But I think you were concerned more about art. Yeah, mathematics is really art. So from my perspective and from my knowledge of the mathematics as a concept and as a subject of study, it's really art.
And also mathematics doesn't have no gender. Have you guys had
No,
that challenge of, like, let's get women involved? Has that ever been an issue, regardless of the movement of women empowerment?
of course. Um, by by the mere fact of association, if you look at the people that get involved when we do programs, we have from academics to students. You would see the participation of females. For example, your Dr. Simo Mthethwa, whom is not married to me. I must specify that people like to say she's my wife. She's my brother's wife. She's not my wife. Let me just specify that.
Well, in Zulu
Maybe it will
tradition,
help.
we'll make it all the same.
Yeah. So even I know that you haven't been in one of our events, but if you get on there, that's when you would see that, oh, really, for real, mathematics has no gender, because even from the emceeing all the way to the people who are, during events, we like to make these fun things and provide competitions,
Yeah.
give some shots, nice quizzes to learners. You'll see the markers there, you'll see a bunch of females.
I
So
have to join. What
mathematics,
qualifications do I have to join one of your events?
that's the thing. You don't need a qualification. You should view Mthethwamatics as just um, a community project that is there to make people aware of mathematics as a subject, as a concept, and as a career path. So we are basically just building a new society that is not the society that we live in, the society that we live in, or the society that we come from. The belief is that mathematics is difficult. Mathematics has its own people. Women are not wanted there, and things like that. So
You're
we want
changing
to create kind
mindsets.
of, to change that mindset and provide kind of a new tradition that is counter to the existing tradition. That mathematics is not really that difficult thing or that monster that should be feared, but it's just a subject. If you want to view it like that, it's just a concept. It's just a career path, just like other career paths.
Yeah, yeah.
You need not own a degree in anything actually to be there. You just come in there, and trust me, you're gonna have something to do. We will give you something to do. And if you tell me early, I can even feature you on the program itself.
What? I think I put my hand up too early. Feature me in the program. We'll talk about that. We'll see. No, I've always been interested. I've been curious, but I felt I've been stuck in that old mindset of being sidelined, that you are an artist, you belong in this side, and then those who are in math, science, and technology, then it's for them.
Oh, no. We live in it. You see, even in the world that we are living in right now, um, if you categorize yourself as
Yeah.
one thing,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
So we need to get rid of that mindset as soon as possible, because if you look at the world, the setup of the world right now, you will get someone who is an artist. When I say an artist, I mean, say, musician to be specific. You get the songwriter who also produces that show and acts on that other show and do all these other things outside of art. So in this world that we live in right now, you cannot categorize yourself. Oh, I'm an academic. I don't do all these other things. We need to get rid of that as soon as possible, because that mindset is the one that is counter innovative. You cannot innovate if you are fixed in a certain thing. So you can only innovate, obviously, in that thing that you are fixed on. For example, myself, if I'm fixed in mathematics and only mathematics, I can only help innovate mathematics. But then if I allow myself to be flexible enough to touch on other fields and look at what other people are doing, that's when maybe I can be able to link those other things to say, oh, this is what we do in computer science, actually. And then we can start to maybe work on something that is going to revolutionize the society as a whole. But if you just fixed yourself as a computer scientist, you're going to end up being a guy that writes programs for whatever. You're going to be a robotics specialist. You're going to be there and stuck there and kind of lose a bigger picture And as you lose the bigger picture, we won't be able to solve the problems that exist in the world right now if we do not work in spaces that we are not really, experts on, if I can put it like that.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Mthethwa, would you like to settle these rumors of yours and claim a woman that you are attached to that people should know?
No.
Wow, there you have it. Dr. Mthethwa is open to careers and open to relationships, so he's not tied down to anyone.
No, I was just letting people know, people who are going to maybe see this, because I know the belief out there. This is what I get. This is what I usually get. Someone would say, "Oh, I saw your wife," and I say, "Oh, my wife. I saw her there and there and there." I'll be like, "Oh, okay." So I just wanted to settle that I call her Dr. Aish. Aish is not really, yeah.
Ish.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. So before we close and wrap up, are there any future endeavors that you would like to share with us? Any nuggets of hope? What can see maybe in the distant future from yourself?
From myself personally, okay, let me just speak maybe from the Mthethwamatics point of view.
Hey, let's go personal if you want to go personal. It's okay.
Let me speak to Mthethwamatics. We have a couple of programs that we are introducing. We are collaborating with some people. There is an upcoming project that it falls into one of those that I said we do for fun. So I'm not going to be heavily part of it, but I'm just going to be there to see the whole thing on how it pans out. So we were disturbed by the restrictions that comes with the COVID. So, but the idea was to go around in some famous areas of South Africa. There will be someone there with a camera and the whole crew there. So the thing is, they will kind of get these interviews with just ordinary people in the society. If it becomes a success, I'm sure you would know.
Well, yeah, we'll be following and watching. We'll definitely be stalking and trying to find out as much as we can.
I'm sure you'll know if it pans out well. So yeah, that's the idea. So they will be asking people like yourself, what is mathematics? And when you decided to go away, I was saying that I suggested that they go with a one-pager kind of a thing to say, well, nice definition. If they're asking people what mathematics is, and what they think about mathematics in general, it would be good to go with just one page to give to whoever that they're asking, and kind of clarify what really is mathematics, and maybe in that page as well, what can be done with mathematics as far as careers are concerned.
Can't wait to find out, and can't wait to be asked.
There's another one as well.
Yes.
Speaking of future things, There's another one that I hope it will kickstart as soon as possible in collaboration with some department. Arts and culture.
Oh.
So I hope that makes you happy.
Yes.
Yeah. We had a nice kind of a proposal with some representative from there, and yeah, let's see how that goes. And if it goes well, I'm sure you would know who's behind the whole thing. I mean, except for myself, of course.
National arts and culture or provincial arts and culture? Oh, come on, give us the juices, come on.
Okay, basically it's a program designed for a specific community across the country, though. So when I say specific community, we have a hostel community in South Africa. People who are living in hostels and things like that. So I'm sure you know that when you go to Durban, you'd find hostels. When you go to Johannesburg, you'd find hostels there. So it's a program that is designed specifically for that audience, if I were to use that word. But yeah.
Well, I don't know what else I can ask further than that. That's all right. But you're very passionate about mathematics. Of course, if you make it into your career and you do have that creative spirit, that bubbly personality about it, which does take it out of the stigmas of, you know, your typical characters and personalities of people who love mathematics. What inspires you? If it's not maths itself, what does inspire you and sort of like gives you that spark to do what you do?
Let me just talk about what inspires me now. I have master's students, and they are doing mathematics in the field that I am in. So my job is to, as I said earlier on, that the job is to provide sort of guidance and mentorship as far as what they want to do in their research at that master's level. So they are, I think they are giving me a certain spirit that I might have, I don't want to say lost, but it decreased over time. So they are basically, what is happening, I think what is happening is they are reconnecting myself to myself when I was doing masters. So that enthusiasm, that oomph that they have about the subject, I think they just reconnected me to a 2013 me, you know. So as far as research is concerned, so right now I can say that I'm in my bag right now because of them. That's why we say it in the hip hop community. We say we are in our bag when we are really doing the stuff. So yeah, man, I think those two, they are really pushing me in terms of the spirit and just being happy about finding little things, just minor things, as far as creativity is concerned. So I think I've not lost, but it decreased over time. I just focused on bigger things, and then I was not appreciating small findings enough anymore, but they just reconnected me to that spirit. So I appreciate everything that I find out. I appreciate every moment that I get when I'm with them, and everything that I help them with. I really appreciate that, because they are the ones that put me in that spirit.
Dr. Simo Mthethwa.
Sizunos.
Onyombose. Omthembu,
Yeah,
omvelasi.
Unyambose.
Onyombose.
Umthembu is a different surname.
Completely different.
Unyambose. Yeah, Mthethwa. Yeah, you were right when you say Unyambose. Unyambose. Mhlamba angicela noma ngicela la mfuzo ngiyami nketha bawena bawela
Thank you for your awesome time, your auspicious company, and your open heart. And I am absolutely surprised that we've even spoken this much, that I've been able to get so much out of you.
What were you expecting exactly? What were your now this is my interview. I'm interviewing. What were you expecting? What were your expectations?
Go start your own podcast.
You can have me as a host. I can host some interviews for you. I'm gonna start with you. What were your let it out. What did you expect prior?
Do you follow Trevor Noah? Trevor Noah's stand-up comedy. And do you know this?
I think I know.
This just you're this guy on WhatsApp. You're this guy. You're not like this person is talkative. Even when you respond on WhatsApp, you can tell, okay, this person is writing and says a lot. Okay, we're gonna talk long time. This person, you here, you do like 1-word answers, 3-word answers, and I'm like, oh, this guy.
I'm gonna try to type more. And I'm gonna improve on that. I always get that.
It was like, this one, 10 minutes, 20 minutes is gonna be long with this one. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Let's just do it. Now it's almost an hour.
I'm gonna improve.
This is not the same guy on WhatsApp.
This is the Royale Express podcast. Make sure to subscribe, follow, and like. Thank you for joining me.